UFC 205 Conor McGregor versus the top 5 lightweights. Also, I'm going to exclude Islam from this because he's moving up to welterweight, and if you want to know how I think that fight goes, I think Islam does bad things to Conor. So we're going to start it off with Dan Hooker. I think Conor beats Dan. I think Dan's way too hittable, very much a plotter. You know, his body durability is a bit suspect. He's got a very good chin, but I think Conor's just going to keep touching it all night. And Dan Hooker's not a good enough wrestler to take Conor down. And it's not like Dan Hooker has, like, this elite cardio or anything like that. He would have to Nate Diaz his way through this fight, and I don't think that would work for him. Next up, we have Justin Gaethje. I think that Justin Gaethje would actually win this fight, primarily due to the leg kicks. Especially at this time, Conor had, zero awareness to checking leg kicks. Now, Justin Gaethje is very hittable, right? His defense is very much shell up and throw big haymakers. That won't work against Conor, but I think the leg kicks would eventually take over, and as the fight goes on, Conor will start to fatigue, and I think Gaethje would take over and win. So essentially, it's going to be like every other Conor McGregor fight. If he doesn't get a KO in 2, he's going to lose. Now, Charles Oliveira is a very interesting one because Charles is very inconsistent with when he chooses to wrestle. If we have the Charles Oliveira that fought, let's say, Mateusz Gamrot, then yeah, I think Charles can win that fight. But the problem is, Charles was even getting tagged by Mateusz Gamrot, and I think that Conor, with his absolute sniper-like precision, would absolutely knock out Charles Oliveira. I don't think it would be with one shot, but I do think he would do a lot of nasty damage to Charles Oliveira and eventually finish him. The way that Charles wins is to take him down and submit him, but I don't know if Charles can take Conor down. Now, Max Holloway is an interesting one, right? Ever since Max has moved up to lightweight, he's not that forward pressure, volume striker as much. Yes, he throws volume, but he's much more on the back foot. He's much more of a technical striker. Ever since that third Volkanovski fight, he's kind of changed up his style, and that style does not do well against someone like Conor McGregor. I think Conor's going to go forward just like he did in the first fight against Max, and I think that he's got a good style to intercept Max's constant movements, and every time that Max throws, Conor is going to exchange with him, and I think Conor's going to get the better of those exchanges. So I can see Conor winning the first 2 or 3 rounds and winning a decision. It kind of comes down to that third round as Conor starts to slow down. And I think the 4th and 5th rounds might be absolutely terrible for Conor. But I'm going to go with Conor on this one because I believe his cardio can hold it well enough at 155 to win the first 3 rounds. Next up, we got Arman Tsarukyan, and I think Arman wins. I think his wrestling's too strong. His ground and pound's too strong. He might eventually get a submission over Conor. Conor's only chance is to tag Arman, but Arman's striking defense isn't so bad to the point where he can't defend a shot like Charles Oliveira, for instance. And lastly, with Ilia Topuria, I think this would be a very good fight because I don't think Ilia would wrestle with Conor. I think that it'd be a pure boxing match. And honestly, is it a hot take to say that I think Conor might actually win that? I think Conor would get the timing on Ilia's head movement down. I think he would snipe him with left hands from a distance. And Conor does have the reach advantage and does well against shorter, orthodox style fighters. So if Ilia doesn't wrestle, I can absolutely see Conor winning this fight. It kind of just depends on how Ilia's cardio is in the lightweight division, honestly, though. So I could see either guy winning this one.